All right, man, so we know Nvidia got earnings this week, and here's what we understand. It's going to blow it out the water, man. This is going to make or break the market, man. You got to understand something right quick. Nvidia, as of right now, represents 8% of the S&P 500. It's the largest company in there. But it also represents 10.5% of the NASDAQ. It's the largest company in that. So wherever this company goes, the market flows. I'm gonna say that again. Wherever this company goes, the market flows. Now, we know that Nvidia has been flirting around all-time highs. It gave us a little pullback earlier last week. It actually made me mad because it went down to 168, and I'm not gonna lie, I was really, really mad that I didn't get it at 168, simply because we understand how much a powerhouse this is. But I will say I have $425,000 in a $200 option call that expires in March 2026. So we're going to see what that look like for your boy. You know what I'm saying? But today, in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to get on a chart. And we're going to see where Nvidia is now, what are we looking at going towards earning, and how we should position ourselves as investors and as traders. So before we get into this video, man, I want you to like, I want you to subscribe, and I want you to share this video. So help us with that, man, as we continue to try to give you great content, as we continue to try to evolve and help you become better traders, help you become better investors, and help you dominate the market. It's your boy, the Wall Street Trapper, man. Let's get into the chart here, man. We're looking at this Nvidia chart, and y'all know our system. You know how I go. One of the things I like to talk about is candle communication, and that is simply understand what the candles are telling us. My goal for every one of you is, as you're watching this with me, I want you to get your chart out, right? I want you to get your chart out. And watch me on the television screen or wherever you watching at, and still watch it on your chart with me. I'm going to make little lines and little highlighters so you can see it. Shout out to the video squad. Shout out to my editors, right? So we can make sure that you all are identifying exactly what we see. So let's get into it. Now, we know Nvidia has earnings Wednesday, right? And this is going to be powerful. Now, this is coming off of a Jay Powell saying that he is going to be cutting rates pretty soon, which is probably in September. That definitely sent the market up. Why? Because, you know, Donald Trump has been putting a lot of pressure on the market. I'm going to make a video about that. I don't think we should cut rates, but because I'm an investor, I'm like, hey, I own assets, I trade assets, so I'm going to make some money. But you got to think about it. We just had a PPI index, which is a producer price index, that said the inflation on that has doubled, which means if the inflation over there has doubled, that means by the time it gets to the consumer, what's going to happen? It's going to double. So we in trouble, which could lead us to stagflation, which is a whole nother story that we're not going to talk about today. But what I want to do is I want to show us how we can trade Nvidia, because if we learn how to trade, we don't care what inflation does. So cut the rates, goddammit. I don't care. Let's get into it, man. So the first thing y'all know we're going to do is we're going to go look at the monthly calendar. For the month of October, we see that Nvidia is still in a overall what? We see this uptrend. So we good with that, right? And what does an uptrend consist of? Higher highs and higher lows. Let's mark it out. We have a higher high. We see that. And then we see higher lows. So that tells us that we are still in a uptrend, and that's what we want to be in. So what I like to do is just get on the monthly and just see where we are, see what's going on, see if things are in place, and how can we navigate throughout the year, right? So if the monthly is in check, the next thing we're going to do is go check out the weekly. What do we see on the weekly? We kind of see the same thing here, overall uptrend. If we come from this swing low, I'm going to use my trend line. We see this right here. Now I'm gonna do something that's interesting right here. Now, even though you see this, we can do this, right? The overall trend is still up, but I'm gonna say something right quick that people, you might see. Even though we are in an overall uptrend, we do have slight consolidation right there, right? Which that can be a thing that we have to pay attention to, because here's what we do know. What we do understand is consolidation tells us what? Consolidation tells us that the market is having a disagreement between bulls and bears. It means that the bears want to do one thing, the bulls want to do one thing. Nobody has truly taken control. Now, if we see that on a weekly time frame, it's not nothing to truly get scared about, but just know we could be expecting some type of move to take place. And what I like to do is now let's get into the actual daily, and then the 4 hour, and then the 1 hour, so we can really get more understanding of the conversation that's being had between these candles. So let's go a little further. Now we get into the daily. We can see we still in the uptrend, so we're going to take this off. But here's what I want you to look at that we got here that still makes sense. We can see that consolidation is still in place, right? And that consolidation tells us what? That consolidation tells us that 100% the bulls and the bears are having a disagreement. No one is truly taking control in this moment. And that's okay, because if we can understand that, then we not tripping. Now, I want you to see something. Notice how the line is boxed off at our 184, which is all-time high, and that 173.65. That's going to be important for us to pay attention to. The reason why is because that can be support and resistance, but we also understand that our all-time high is the highest price we've been to in a certain time frame. So here's what I want to look at right quick on this daily candle, right? And if we look at this, let me take my box off. I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to open this up so we can really just talk about these candles for a second. So as you can see, we got our all-time high right here at 184.60, right? And so that is essential. So now you like, Trap, what is this 173 you got right here? Well, if we look at the 173, I want to show you something right quick. I want you to look at this touch right here. Boom. I want you to look at this touch here. Boom. I want you to look at this touch here. Boom. Right? So those three touches over the short period of time has said that, and notice where we at on all three of those touches. We have what? A doji candle right there at 173.65. So that is a price that, and then right here on top of that, we go a little further. We see the market pushed it right there. We see the bears liked it right there. And we see a rejection right there. So we see that this price at 173.65 has been a place where there's been some gathering talked about, right? Now, let's talk about these two candles that we see that's on here right quick. Now, this first candle tells us, this green one right here, let's circle this one. This candle is a daily candle that opens above the close of Friday. Okay, let's talk about that for a second. That's what I like to do in these videos, just walk us through what we see. We understand on Friday, the market opened here, it drove down, but then it closed up here. We can agree that Friday's close was right here at 177.99. Right, 177.99 is where it closed that Friday. Now, here's what we wanted to see today. We wanted to see it open above Friday's close and then go up, which is what we saw. We saw it open today at so Friday closed at 177.99, and then today it opened at 178.42, which is good. But then we saw it come down to as low as 176.84, then it rolled back up. Currently right now it's sitting about 181, which is cool. Got as high as 182. So that's what we want to see. So the two last candles tells us that buyers have definitely stepped in. Now, let's talk about this for a second. We know that Jay Powell came in and said, yo, we're going to cut rates. So that means a lot of buyers jumped in. Why did that happen? Well, in lower interest rate environment, growth in tech companies can actually grow in those environments. So that's kind of an idea for them to say, hey, we can be doing something. But remember, Nvidia has earnings wins. So it's kind of make everybody pump the brakes a little bit. They're excited, but not too excited. Let's go a little further. So our other two candles, we have doji candles. Now those candles represent indecision. So that's under these two candles. Let's circle that so we can see it, so we can talk about it. That's indecision. Now that means that everybody pause. Don't look at the fact that the candles are green. Look at them as indecision candles. Now, the dope part is those indecision candles came right after, watch this, this is going to be good. We doing right now is called candle communication. Those indecision candles came right after this huge red candle, which recently tells us that sellers had now pushed the price down. They could either been taking profits, and it tells us that fear just was in control. Now, that is essential because that brings us back to the day we had the PPI report and we had that big push down. Right now, the recent green candles tell us that buyers are stepping back in with confidence. Now, the thing I want us to notice is notice that the green candles formed after the prices support. It hit this support line, right? It hit this support line and then rejected it, hit it again and rejected it. So that's back-to-back days. Now, here's what I want you to understand about that. Watch when I say this. If the sellers were truly in control, this is about to be good. The near goal after pushing this down would have been this, this, and this. This right here, that Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, their goal was to push that down further. But they didn't. They got rejected. So sellers failed to do their job. The last three candles, so after that red candle, after this bad boy right here, sellers had taken control. Now, mind you, watch this. I like when we do this. We knew a big move was coming somewhere because of this. Now, we're going to go right before that. Look at this consolidation. This consolidation happens right after this candle right here. All right, so right here, this red candle right here at the top of that uptrend. After that, you have a doji candle that falls down, so you have a clear gap down, right? You have a clear gap down, which is right here, right? And then from that indecision, you see buyers step in right here. And then this whole square that I have boxed off right there is nobody truly taking control. But then sellers actually come in and push this down, the one we talked about. But let me show you something. They really didn't dominate all the way. Even though they pushed it down, look where they pushed it to. This is so good. We inside the candles right now, y'all. We deep inside the candles right now. Watch this. Even though sellers came in, they pushed it right back to that spot right there, which was 175.11, which was right where the buyers opened up not far before that on this candle, is where buyers opened up at right here on this candle. So in that range, you have consolidation. So it's finding that same spot and then getting what? It's closing out. So then we have indecision with those next two dojis. Then we have a gap down for this one. Fed gives us a rig height, goes back up. So sellers actually failed to do their job, which was push it down further. So the market structure is truly telling us a story. Now, we know that uptrends consist of higher highs and lower lows. But in this situation, we don't have a higher high or a lower low. We just have an equal low. Ooh. And so we have an equal bias. So what we also got to understand is until Nvidia can break probably about 185, which is this line, which is puts us back right here. Let's get to it. Until Nvidia can break its all-time high and get to 185, we'll still be in that consolidation phase. It has to break above the 185 because above the 185, we know that buyers have truly stepped in and said, yo, we want to claim this as our own. So even off earnings, it can bounce to 184, but if it bounces back down, that means buyers haven't taken control. That means sellers are holding the ground. That means they're in the hood like, yo, you get to 184, yo, we right here. We not let you above that. So you need to get a big earnings call from Nvidia to see them take control of 185. And if they take control of 185, then you can say, hey, we going somewhere. We might be going somewhere. We got somewhere to go. Now, a key level for us to look at 100% will be 173 because it has been tested multiple times. Let's go look at what 173 is. And where's 173? Right here. Yep, boom. So we see that 173 has been tested multiple times right there. That line going across. Let me take this green line off at 175 so y'all can see what I'm talking about. And that's what I like to do. I like to walk y'all through stuff so y'all can see it. Right, so we come right to 173, boom. So if we look at this line, what I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna give it to you in another way. I'm gonna take it from here, I'm gonna make it a dotted line. That way you can see it. So you can see 173 across that line has been talked about multiple times. So 173 has been hit multiple times, and so because it's been hit multiple times, we see that that can be a zone where we find some type of balance. For me, I like to go where I can really see, which is 172, which is better. It's a better call for me on that. But I like to give clarity, right? Now, currently we see Nvidia sitting at 181. We see the stock moving. And what I would want us to do is I want to see, if it blew it out the park, I want to see it go above this, bounce off that high, bounce off that all-time high, and go up. What I don't want to see is it bounce here, right? I don't want to see it bounce here, come up, create a lower high, and then bounce back down. right? That's what you won't want to see. You don't want to see it bounce here, create a lower high and bounce back down, or equal high and bounce back down, right? You don't want to see that, right? Because then it can go down. Now you probably looking at 167. You know, we not in the camp for that. You know, that can be a high. Then we done broke structure. If we do that, we break that. So that's what you're looking for. Nvidia earnings, you want to see Nvidia beat earnings, and you want to see it run up. You want to see it break 185. And the reason why you want to see it break past that, and here's what it's going to do. It'll break past that, and then it'll probably run to blue sky territory. And then what happens is the 185 then becomes support. So if you a trader now, you saying, hey, if I'm already in the plan and go past 185, I'm good. If you're somebody looking to get in the trade, you say, let it break past 185, let it then come back down to 184, let 184 be the resistance, which was the all-time high. The all-time high, the previous all-time high then becomes resistance. It bounced, that's called a break. It come retest on 184. Once it retests off 184, that's a great time to get back in, and then it flies back up. Now you into blue sky territory. That's what I want you to look at. We just looking on a daily chart right here. It's your boy, the Wall Street Trapper. I hope this video, you found value in it. I hope this video you find preparing ourselves for this Nvidia earnings, right? Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you do that in the chat. I want to say something right quick before we go out of this video. I want to show y'all something that's real interesting right here. Right here, we have somebody in my Patreon, man, that sent us a text that said, I trust the process. More importantly, I trust God. 80K before lunch, Trap. And the guy has finally hit $1 million in his account. Shout out to my guy in the Patreon. I definitely want to show him love. And what I want to start doing is highlight my people. I don't want to say their names because people are in a whole different situation. But I do want to start highlighting people like that, that's in the group, that's getting to it. It's your boy, the Wall Street Trapper. Come join the Patreon, man. Come be a part of the squad. Come be a part of what we're doing, man. Link is in the bio below. See y'all in the trap. Let's go.